Welcome back to Popes and Pylons. Let's play some more Europa Universalis IV. Did I say some more? It is back to EU4 time. Finally, wow. I want to start EU4 in Steam. I have my Steam games sorted by date. And the last start of EU4 was in September. That's so disgraceful. But also, it's New Year's. It should be New Year's right now. It's not New Year's quite for me, but for you it should be. So Happy New Year. May your 2021 be better than your 2020. Frankly, not too hard, I assume. Now, what are we doing here? We are playing EU4, and as you can see, we're playing as Tver. And if you've been following my CK3 campaign to the end, you know what we're going to be doing. We're going for an achievement that's a relatively easy one, normally, and that is Relentless Push East. Starting as a Russian nation, by 1600 on the East Siberian coastline. So that's a timed achievement, but we have 100 and what's that, 55-ish years. I think we have all of 1600 actually to finish it, so that's one extra year. As long as we're done in 1600, this should be fine. Yeah, years before 1601. And we need to own all port provinces in the East Siberia region, which we can't see, but it's obviously over here at the Pacific Ocean. Now, as Muscovy, it's pretty trivial. You can do it with like, I don't know, 40, 50 years to spare or something if you're playing well. You start super powerful, you have easy expansions going for you, you have a bunch of vassals to start as. You have, once you form Russia, which is as Muscovy, not too hard, you have the Siberian Frontier, I think it's called, ability, where you can then plop down free colonies essentially and make your way all the way there. Making the same way through conquest is pretty hard, because there's a bunch of Ming tributaries and an actual Ming in the way. And they may or may not have collapsed by the time you arrive in the east. But we're not playing as Muscovy, are we? We're playing as Tver. And Tver is in a pretty, well, not quite unique position, but pretty unique. And I was actually surprised, because I just assumed that Tver was one of the Muscovite subjects at the start of the game, like all these other people around here, Belozero, Yaroslav, Rostov, Perm, and Peshkov. But not Tver. No, we're independent. We're an independent 3-province minor, and we're right next to Muscovy. We're also right next to Novgorod, which is probably hopefully our savior. Because it might be our only way of expanding without no CB shenanigans. Because as you can see, we're surrounded all the way by Muscovy or its vassals, except for Torzhok here, which might be our way out. Now, you could argue that we should start eating into Muscovy because that's our best way forward, and it would be, but I don't think we can beat them. We check out here, they are sitting at only 7k people, but I believe their force limit is way higher. We look at Muscovy. They have a force limit of 36. And we have a force limit of 11. And they have a total of 26,000 manpower. Well, I must have looked at the wrong thing earlier. They have 25,000 men. Not 7. I must have just looked at the cavalry. Oh, that's the manpower reserves. I see. See, I haven't played the game in so long that I forget about things like this. Anyway, Muscovy is, yeah, that's the total amount of soldiers in Muscovy. 26,000. We have 8 and a maximum essentially of 11. So we're not fighting Muscovy. Now, if we could find a big ally, that would be really helpful in fighting them. But if we check our Diplo macro builder here, and I did already check into this, it's not looking great. Novgorod would join us, and it looks fine, right? They're sort of the same size as Muscovy. It's not. It's not even close to fine. Yes, we've played as Novgorod, we've done Frozen Assets, we've beaten the Muscovite and the Danish, but the AI does not tend to do that at all. If we look at Novgorod's military power here, Novgorod, they're sitting on 13,000 men with an 18 force limit. They don't stand a chance. And they usually don't get to ally the Danes either. They're not currently rivaled that way or being rivaled by them, so maybe there's a chance, but I'm not seeing it. Even then we'd have to give them a bunch of land or something, and it just doesn't seem worth it. No. I think what we're going to try, and I do say try, I fully expect to fail once or twice in this run before we find a way to do it, or we might even not find a way to do it, we'll see. But I want to go for Novgorod as a start. No, not offer alliance. I'm sorry, I know you're the one person who wants to be my friend, but no. We're gonna instead covert action, build a spy network on you. I've never seen Muscovy not go for Novgorod. Well, never. I've never noticed Muscovy not going for Novgorod early on. So I'm kind of expecting that to happen again. And I believe they do have a bunch of cores there. Well, one. But they don't have a core on us, so this should be an easy target for them. We do have a core on Muscovy, but yeah. So what I'm planning to do is once Muscovy attacks Novgorod, I try to take as much of the pie as possible. Hopefully not fighting any mean allies they might pick up. I guess that means I should rival them if I can. And I can. They're in fact my only valid rival. So we're just going to do it now. It makes their friends more likely to... or it makes our enemies more likely to ally them. But since I have no other enemies, it should be fine. And we get increased spy network fabrication speed, which we really need. Then we have one free diplomat, which needs to go and make us a friend. I'd rather have more than one friend, but really one is all we can do for now. Lithuania comes to mind. Now, the issue with Lithuania, aside from the fact that they might not want to ally us, they're pretty far away, but not that far away, is that they might become, and are likely to become, a subject of Poland. In which case all our time doing that is wasted. Kind of feeling we want to wait for the Polish-Lithuanian decision before we start working on the Lithuanians. Other options would be Kazan or the Great Horde, depending on who of those is stronger, and Denmark, because Denmark has all of Norway and Sweden on their side. 5 minus 59. We're only looking at minus 47 on these people here. And you might get threatened by the Muscovites soon, or hate them, and then you might like me more. I'm gonna start improving on one of the two. Who's more powerful? And things can go either way in that area. 17,000 men on Kazan and 16,000 men on the Horde. I guess I go with Kazan for now. Not that those numbers, the difference in that number matters a lot. I will improve relations here. Maybe we can get an alliance. The reason we need alliances at the beginning is that we need to survive against our neighbors, not just get eaten by Muscovy, for example. If we have strong enough looking allies, then Muscovy might not touch us. Could also improve on Muscovy, but oh, they hate our guts, so no. Not at all. Now, let's have a quick look at the rest of our nation, right? We haven't done that yet. I usually do that at the start of these campaigns. We are Kniaz Boris Rurikovich. I always feel like there's another R in there, Rurikovich, but it's not. Rurikovich. We're pretty bad. Quite below average here. We are well connected and have more possible advisors. So if we find some money, then I'm very tempted to pick up at least one advisor here. Probably a military one. And let's have a quick look at those. We don't get one that's particularly useful, unfortunately. I'm probably going to pick up Mr. Beloselsky here. Now, we can't quite afford him right now, but if we wouldn't pay our army, that would help. And I have some other things I can do and will try to do before we even unpause. Trade. No, let's keep looking at our country for a second. We have Novgorodian ideas. That should be... Wait. Confused. Right, here. Man, the rust. You feel the rust. Novgorod ideas, not Novgorodian, Tverian ideas. Wait, I keep saying Novgorod because I'm seeing Novgorod on the screen. No, Tver. And we have our own ideas, which are not huge. We get some more trade power and force limit, which, if we had smaller neighbors, then the extra force limit would help hugely. And it might help us get us over the hump to finding an ally or two. But generally it's not utterly great, but it's not horrible. Not going to complain about that one. Trade power is some extra money, which is okay. Since we're very small, it's not going to be a lot of extra money. But then trade efficiency, fort defense is pretty bad. Stab cost modifier, construction cost, production efficiency. A lot of money focus in here, which is probably not really what we need. But I mean, it helps. Infantry compatibility, very nice, but we get it very late. We are almost certainly not going to make it that far by 1600, I don't think. I don't think we can get this far by 1600. And then national armies would be just okay. But by then we're probably Russia anyway. So yeah, this is not too helpful. But then again, on timed runs, the ideas, well, the starting ideas matter a lot, but the other ones don't matter so much. So maybe that's all right. We have no heir, so if we die, there will be succession war between Muscovy and Ryzen, which is actually some sort of a backdoor out. I'm feeling it's another way we can do this run. Instead of trying to expand in Novgorod, we could try to become a Muscovite subject, find something to support our liberty, which gives us an alliance with somebody who's way more powerful than what we can usually ally, and then use them to carve out Muscovy. We've used that strategy down here when we played as Hissen Kaifer. Here, I believe, I don't remember whether the Ottomans were bigger at that time. I feel like no, the Ottomans were bigger at that time, right? We didn't have the whole split up here yet when we did Saladin's Legacy. So we had the big neighbor Ottomans that we just had to get rid of, I believe. I feel like that's how that went. It's been a while. Alright, so that's ideas, that's our ruler. Anything else we need to look at? We are a Russian government, so we have our 3 buttons. We have Race Streltsy. Streltsy are infantry that have 10% more fire damage, which really comes into play later, unfortunately, because fire damage is not very important in the early game. But it's still a button that makes troops, so we might want to use that at some point. It requires this progress here. Oh, we get progress on each of these individually. We get 5 each year up to a maximum 150 from, I assume, military. Yeah, this is the 3 stats, right? Yeah. This is from military, this is from DIP, and this is from admin. This button allows us to reform Sudebnik, which it reduces autonomy. It doesn't really, oh no, it does say it down there. In all our provinces, minus 10 autonomy. It's a nice button if you're conquering a lot. And this reduces rebel factions. This is essentially a harsh treatment button, which is pretty bad. But it does harsh treatment on all rebels, so it can be useful from time to time. Otherwise, what else is going on? Estates. We're not looking great on estates. We have 29% crown land, which gives us already negative modifiers. Now, these are not super relevant. The only one we care about at all is national tax modifier. We don't have absolutism and we don't have subjects. So low crown land is not horrific for us. We might keep it that way. I still want to press a bunch of buttons here. Let's see what we want to do. We want to seize land, I think, still, to keep some to give away. We want to summon the Died, see what kind of agenda we get, and gain some loyalty. I'm pretty sure I want primacy of the Boyars for the bonus military power. It does cost 5% Boyar loyalty and 10% crown land. It's pretty expensive, but it does give us that extra military power, which is great. And then I think there's one more I want down here potentially. I was looking at aristocratic councillors here. Gives us 5% loyalty, increased influence, but I don't care about influence too much yet. And I don't care about the max absolutism reduction. So essentially we get free loyalty and we get free advisor cost reduction, and this is what's going to make the military advisor affordable. And we might run Right of Council because all it does is give them influence, reduce max absolutism. Again, don't care about absolutism. So that seems pretty useful. Monopolies we could look at. I don't know if I have to give monopolies, but I might if I need the loyalty and or instant money. We'll see. Now, that's the boyars. I think I care most about those. Obviously, I would like to have a religious state as well. And you might just grab all of these if we have the crown land to give away, which we probably don't. Otherwise, we're not going to buy an admin advisor anytime soon. Patriarch Authority, we haven't talked about yet, but I don't super care, I don't think. Oversight is just okay to buff up loyalty, and that's that. Certainly not going to go for this. And finally, burghers. Diplo power, maybe later, when we do actually go for expansion. Other expansion ideas in the admin cost? I don't know. We'll see. Admin points. Prestige, no. Diplo advisor, no. Trade commissions. This we're probably going to keep as it is. Control of a monetary policy could be interesting at some point. We'll see. I do not like all power cost plus 5% at all, though. That's just horrible. But mostly I'm going to focus on the boyars here. That seems like the main point to start. Let's start by clicking Summon the Diet to see what kind of agenda we get. And increase loyalty a bit. This agenda. Clergy want base tax 4 in Zubzov. Gives us what? 10 prestige, 10 clergy loyalty, and nothing else. Now, I'm not super opposed to developing, developing my land a bit, because we need relative power, and I mean we are not currently able to develop admin twice, so we can't instantly fulfill it, which is a bit sad, but it would be okay. It gives us some extra crown land, it gives us money obviously, and there does not seem to be any modifier here on development, so that's kind of okay. We could even consider running increased development edict in the area. We probably will if we do this. This wants the manpower there, so it's 2 clicks of development and manpower, and we get some manpower and boyars loyalty. Don't think that's super interesting to me. And you want base production in Tver, which might be cheaper to develop. And we gain some money out of it, which is also tempting. Let's have a look at Tver. No, it's actually more expensive to develop here. We do get a reduction from it being a capital city, but not a lot. I think it's compared to the rest of our country, and the rest of our country is not very big. And we do pay extra for the fact that it's bigger. So this would be more expensive, and it would be doing Diplo improvement in a grain province, which is not great. So no, I think we're looking at admin. Let's go with the proposal of the clergy, even if the boost we get from it is 10 prestige, which is a bit of a joke. Alright, proposal of the clergy. And then boyars. I'm pretty sure I want this. We're gonna go down below, barely go down below 20%, which probably is a breakpoint here. But we can go back up, so that's quite alright, I think. Let's grab the monthly military power. It only changed the equilibrium, so it shouldn't cost me loyalty immediately, actually. I think, yeah. I'll have a pretty low equilibrium, but that will be fine. I think. Yeah. See, now we get autonomy change, and it's bad, so we don't want to be below 20. But we can easily press the seize land button. All estates will lose 20 loyalty, but they'll still be loyal enough to not rise up. And now they should all be below the equilibrium, so they're actually going to be ticking up, which feels good. Now, did I want to grant you one more thing? don't think we currently need Right of Council. All it will do, if anything, is to give me more manpower recovery, right? Isn't there a tooltip here that shows all the options? I thought there was. It's been a while, so I'm not quite... I'm not seeing it. But I don't think we're going to hit a breakpoint anyway. So the other one was the reduction in price for our military advisors. Gets us the loyalty equilibrium back, doesn't cost us anything, except for stat cost. We are at 0 stability. We did just pick up the admin development thing, so we're not going to be doing any stability pushing anytime soon. So I think I am actually going to grab aristocratic councillors. Yeah, well. The idea I have here, or the plan, I guess, is to get to Militech, what is it, 4 as fast as possible. So we're slightly more useful in combat against our enemies. And then can I run? No, I cannot run this because we don't have the crown land and we don't want to be below 20%. Was there anything else I wanted? I mean, just bonus this I don't need. No. Alright. So that's the estates for now. We're gonna have to do a lot of estate finagling for a while. It's fine. We probably want to get married soon, but I can't right now because my diplomats are busy. We still haven't set our merchants, so let's do that right now. What do? We don't really have a lot of options here. Hardly any. Yeah, I think we're gonna pull from Kiev. It has more money in it, and both of these are inland trade nodes, so we get 50 bonus power. The question is actually whether we pull from Kiev and Kazan, or whether we collect here. I'm gonna start by collecting at home, just to see how much of a change that is to our trade power here. We have 4% right now. It's going to slightly change because I'm also going to steer from Kiev. But still, I want to see how useful the merchant is in Novgorod before we decide whether to go to Kazan. Because yes, we get extra power here from using it, which is why I'm considering it. But a lot of Kazan money is already going our way, and we're not really good at collecting any of it right now. Okay, now we have the cheaper advisor, so let's probably go for a military guy. And I'm gonna go with laned maintenance person, I think. The other ones don't matter. Can't afford a 2-cost one anyway. And this one partially pays for himself. So that should be nice. Do I also focus on mill, or is that too much? How important is mill tech? I mean, it's a great technology. Gives us morale and tactics, which is just huge once we battle Novgorod. Just that I can't switch out of the focus for 20 years. And we're already pretty bad at the others. I might stay like this. We have the +2 already. It seems okay. 7 is a decent number. I think I'm going to stop paying my army for at least a moment. Obviously that reduces the positive effect of our advisor, but hey. We're not going to get attacked immediately, I don't think. Nobody has a core or a claim on us, do they? No. So we have some time before we need to be scary. And we do need some money banked so we can go up to force limit to look more threatening to everybody. Alright. Did we miss anything else, or are we actually going to unpause this episode? I think we might unpause. Right, quick look at Orthodox. If you haven't seen it yet, we have Patriarch Authority, which we can gather from consecrating metropolitans. I don't know if anything else gives me Patriarch Authority. I don't remember. But Patriarch Authority can be spent to then buy these icons here, which give very nice bonuses. Also, having Patriarch Authority does things. High Authority will decrease local unrest, increase number of recruits joining the army, so more manpower, I assume. But that's about it. So mostly we're going to use it to spend on this. Otherwise, Orthodox is pretty... We get the -10 stab cost modifier, which kind of counters the +10 we got earlier. And that's about it. Tax is done, estate's done, disputed succession everywhere, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to recruit more advisors. I know we have low crown land, and we have that. Alright, let's unpause and speed up. I'm going to go to speed 5 right now, because early on I want to do some pauses and check out how alliances are falling out. So you hate Kazan, Lithuania, and Novgorod and Lithuania hate you. I'm improving with Kazan, right? Yeah. That might help. No, why do you hate me? Just different religion. I see. And that alliance, if you counter rival Muscovy, then that alliance should help a lot. I mean, that should help our alliance chances a lot. Let's keep running here. King of Italy and the Empire. We have been guaranteed by Novgorod, which I don't actually hate right now. It does give us a bit of protection. It doesn't mean we don't have to come to their help, but they have to come to ours. And Muscovy is almost certainly, as we talked about, going to come to attack Novgorod first anyway. Byzantium going for Epirus in a war of aggression. In a war of aggression, that's a no-CB war, right? Here goes the Byzantine AI. I like it. I like it. I could go speed 5. Just want to keep having a look at how things are shaking out on the alliance market. Nobody interesting getting particularly close. Lithuania is okay, but again, Lithuania, I still want to wait. I might improve with them when we get a free diplomat, but I really want to wait until the Polish thing happens. What's this? Gain a base tax in Tver, which is not the place I wanted, but I mean 8 ducats for a development seems pretty good. And influence on the burghers is fine, so yeah, we're gonna allow urbanization. I wonder if I should... no, I think not. I want to run the development edict and develop in Zubtsov, but I think I want to do that when I have enough for 2 clicks, which I don't quite have yet. Yes, developing earlier, that's why I was thinking about this. Doing the 1 click earlier gives me more money, but turning on the edict, well, actually. So, my thinking was, if I click this button the first time earlier, I already get some monthly tax income, so it's slightly more efficient on money. But then I thought, well, but if I'm starting the edict earlier, then that's also more cost earlier, which is true, and it's twice as much as we get from 1 click. Right? Maintenance is going to be tripled when we do the edict, so it's going to be 0.16, but we only get 0.08 for doing the click. But there's a minimum runtime of a year, I think it's a year, on edicts. And within a year we're going to have enough admin power easily. I think we might actually have it now. So maybe all my discussion is moot. But my thinking was, if we have a minimum of a year anyway, we won't turn it off after that anyway. We can already turn it on, do our click, and then not lose any money. Yeah, should have done this immediately. We start the game. It was Zubtsov, right? I'm not... Let's double check that I'm improving the right place. Estates, agenda, Zubtsov needs admin. Click. And I can actually do my other click because we got to exactly 90 and things worked out. Cool. So I'm gonna do my second click, which should fulfill the thing, and it did. 10 loyalty, 10 prestige, not super relevant, but it does mean we can run another one of those as soon as the cooldown is up. Awesome. Now, we're gonna do some sitting around here. That's not gonna be a war this episode. Unless we get attacked ruthlessly and die. But that's fine. Then again, we are at 30 minutes. This is the end of episode 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, well, if you want to see more of it, then do please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and if you have anything to say, of course, go down there in that comment section. If you're new to the channel, I do a lot of EU4 content. I have a huge backlog of EU4 campaigns, mostly achievement runs, some of them custom achievement runs that you can watch. And there's some other games in there as well, most recently Crusader Kings 3, but a sprinkling of other things as well. Do check them out, do subscribe, do come back tomorrow for the next episode. There's one every single day, and of course, enjoy 2021, hopefully. Thank you for watching, see you folks next time!